Hello and welcome to the International Soccer Preview by Soccer Files Canada. I'm Kevin.
And I'm Kiera.
Right, Kiera's my guest today. Connor is unavailable. He has a 6-month-old baby, so his 24 hours allotted to him a day are kind of controlled by the baby. So Kiera is joining us today to take a look at the players of Cape Verde. And we're going to go through the players in each position and kind of predict who the more likely ones are to play. And we'll begin with actually an overview of their formation. So generally, they seem to go with a 3-4-3 formation. So three main defenders and I wouldn't say 3 forwards, but maybe one main forward and 2 attacking wingers. And then it looked like in games 2 against Nigeria and game 6, they played a more defensive role, moving those wingers back to a 5-man defense. So that's generally the outline of their team. And are we ready to go?
I think so.
Okay, well, let's take a look at their manager first. It is Bubista, and he is in his first tournament here. You want to tell us a little bit about him?
Yeah, so he actually played for Cape Verde from 1998 to 2005. It had 19 caps with the team and no goals. So now he's coming back and has been managing the team just since 2020.
That's right. And before that, he was managing teams in Cape Verde, some of the top teams, but never outside of Cape Verde there. So he would, of course, be a definite. And we're going to use these categories here: definite, likely, possible, but unlikely, seems to be off the squad, retired or injured. And maybe definite, we should say it's more like confident, but it generally means they've been playing games up till now. So let's move on to goalkeepers and begin with someone we've classified as definite because he's played 7 of their 9 games in 2021 and was on the bench for the 2 others. Vozina.
Yeah, so Vozina, an experienced player. He's been with the team since 2012 and has 56 caps. He's 35 years old, and he plays his club football in Cyprus with AEL Limassol, and he's been there since 2017.
Yeah, that's right. And he did play for Gil Vicente in Portugal and a couple of other countries there. As Kiera said, he's pretty experienced. He was actually the starting keeper in both of their African Cup entries, which was 2013 and 2015, where he started all games in both of those tournaments. Also coded as definite is Marcio Rosa. He's played 1 of their 9 games in 2021, but he was on the bench for all 8 others.
Yeah, so he has just 2 caps for the team. He's been with them since 2018. He's a 24-year-old goalkeeper playing his club soccer in Montalegre in Portugal, and he's been there since 2021.
Right, that's right. So definite in that case means kind of the definite backup. And finally, we've coded as likely Dylan Silver. He actually has no caps in 2021, and he first appeared on the bench in September, but he has been on the bench for the 5 last games in 2021.
Yeah, just 22 years old. So not with the experience of some of the others. And he plays in Portugal with Portimonense.
Right. So looks like he's someone that they're kind of bringing along once the other keepers age, which it looks like Vozina, 35 years old. This could be his last entry. Yeah. Okay, well, we actually don't have an all-knowing member of the cast here, so we're going to have to do it ourselves, but we've tried to not look at it closely in our discussion. But it turns out Vozina is in, and Marcio Rosa is in. But a bit of a surprise there. Dylan Silva didn't make the squad, and they kind of brought someone in from the cold there, Kiera, someone very new, whose name is Kevin Ramos, and he's, do you know anything about him?
Not much. Let me just look here. He's 19 years old, so very young. Playing in Cape Verde with Mindalense, but I don't no caps. I don't know how long he's been with the team. Yeah, he seems kind of unknown to me at this point.
Yeah, I can only guess there that I'll just write his name on the graphic for our YouTube viewers. I can only guess that maybe Dylan Silva was injured or something, and they kind of found this guy among their club players in Cape Verde. So a bit of an unexpected surprise there.
Mm-hmm.
All right, well, let's move on to defenders. Actually, we have no one coded as a general or versatile defender, so we'll move on to central defenders. And a bit of an interesting character here who we consider a definite is Roberto Lopez. He played 7, including 6 of the last 9 games in 2021. He was on the bench for 1 of those and not selected for just 1. So looks like a sure bet there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's been with the team since 2019, and he's 29 years old and has 8 caps for the team. And he's playing with the Shamrock Rovers in Ireland, been there since 2017.
Yeah, quite interestingly, he was born in Ireland, born and raised in Ireland. So a bit of an interesting character there, and surprisingly new to the squad for a player who we've quoted as a definite. Mm-hmm. Okay, I'm never sure how to pronounce his name, so maybe you can help me out, Kiera, but I think it's Dini Borges?
Yeah, that's what I would go for as well. Yeah, if we mess up any of the pronunciations, I apologize. Not completely sure either.
Yeah, we do apologize because we're probably getting some of them wrong here, but we did practice a little bit. But anyway, he played only 2 of their 9 games in 2021, but he was on the bench for 5 and then not selected for 2. So maybe somewhere between likely and possible there, but we've coded him as possible since we're pretty conservative. What can you tell us about him?
Yeah, he's got 6 caps with the team so far. He's 26 years old and has been with the team since 2017. And he's playing his club soccer at FAR Rabat in Morocco and been there since 2019.
Oh, cool, in Morocco. And yeah, he may be just called just Dini, actually. We have actually a few possible ones here. The next one is Carlos Ponch. He's played 4 of their 9 games in 2021, on the bench for 1 and not selected for 4 others.
Yeah, he's has 23 caps at age 26, been with the team since 2017. And right now he's playing for Başakşehir in Turkey and been there since 2019, but he has played for some big clubs in Portugal. He was with Aves from 2018 to 2019 and Benfica for 2016 to 2018.
Yeah, those are pretty big clubs. So again, maybe somewhere between possible and likely, especially since we only have the 1 definite there. But let's move on to the third, Stephen Fortes. The central defender played 3 of their 9 games in 2021, but 2 of those were the last 2, which kind of ups his likelihood, although he wasn't selected for 6 others.
Right. Yeah, he's 29 years old and been with the team since 2015, so he's got 9 caps at this point. He plays for Lens in France and been there since 2019.
Right, so 9 caps since 2015 suggests he's probably more of a sub. And finally, on the possible is Kelvin Perez. He earned his first cap in March 2019 and then disappeared from the team for 2.5 years and returned in September 2021 to play one of their remaining 6 games and was just on the bench for one other. So I'm just going to move him to possible, but not likely, because compared to the others, he doesn't look that likely. Anyway, maybe quickly tell us about him.
Yeah, I mean, he is young, 21 years old, and so just recently, like you said, been on the team just since 2021 with that single cap. He plays for Trenčín in Slovakia, been there since 2020. But not a lot of experience with the team.
Yeah, I should clarify, he was only on the bench in 2019, so he never earned a cap until 2021. Okay, well, for the ones that are less likely, we'll just mention the names, and then if they end up having made the team, we'll come back and add a bit of details. So possible but unlikely, Steven Pereira, and seemingly retired is Fernando Varela. A bit of a veteran with the team with 52 caps, but he last played in March 2019. But he was on the team. Sorry, I said they were in 2 tournaments before. It looks like 3, because 2 is right. He was on the team both in 2013 and 2015. I'm going to stop embarrassing myself now, and we'll move on to left backs. We'll begin with someone we've coded as definite, Stopir. Oh, no, we have to go over which of the central defenders made it.
Right. Yeah, I have no idea.
Let's take a look. Well, as we guessed, Roberto Lopez is on the team, and so is Nuno Borges and Carlos Ponch and Stephen Fortes. And we were right to move Kelvin Perez down to less likely, because he didn't make it, and nor did any of the other ones we mentioned. So Fernando Varela, at 34 years old, probably seems to have been retired from the team.
Yeah, unsurprising choices there.
Yeah. Okay. Let us move on to left backs then with Stopira. So Stopira we coded as definite because he played 8 of their 9 games in 2021, not selected for the one other, but a likely candidate there.
Yeah, and certainly a veteran player. He's got 46 caps with the team at 33 years old. He's been with the team since 2008 and has 3 goals for the team as well. So, definitely is bringing some experience.
Yeah, it looks like.
Go ahead.
Oh, yeah. Sorry, no, you go ahead.
Okay. The last thing I was just going to mention, he's playing his club soccer at Fehérvár, which was formerly known as Videoton in Hungary, and been there since 2012.
Right, and in Spain and Portugal before that. He was part of the 2015 African Cup squad, and he started and finished all games there. So I think injury would be the only thing keeping him out. And we'll move on to the next candidate. We only have 2 in this position, Dylan Pavarez, and we've coded him as possible because he played 6 of their 9 games in 2021, but actually 5 of those were the first 5 games. So he was injured for 2 games and on the bench for the last match. So that kind of moves him down there to the possible category.
Right. Yeah. He's got 8 caps for the team, and he's been there since 2020 at 25 years old, and 1 goal for the team as well. He plays his club soccer at Neuchâtel in Switzerland, and been there since 2021.
Yeah, in fact, he's born in Switzerland, so all of his clubs have been there in Switzerland, and that's it. So we'll just take a look and see whether these 2 guys, because there's just 2, I suspect both of them made it, and that turns out to be the case. So both of them are part of the squad. Probably Stopira as the starter and Tavares as the backup.
Yeah, I'd imagine so.
Yeah, it's not so clear for right backs. We have Jeffrey Fortes as the first candidate, but he's only coded at the possible level because he's played four of their nine games in 2021, and he was on the bench for one, but not selected for four. So um, uh, uh, maybe you can tell us a bit about him.
Yeah. Well, he does. He has been with the team since 2014 and has 21 caps. He's 32 years old. So, yeah, have to see whether he gets selected or not. He is playing, for De Graafschap in Netherlands, and he's been there since 2021.
And like Pavarez before him, he was born in the Netherlands, so he's only played for clubs in the Netherlands, and he was on the roster in 2015, but he was never called into play, just sat on the bench there. And we'll move on to the other possible candidate we have listed, Steve Furtado. He played 5 of their 9 games in 2021. And was on the bench for one of those and not selected for 3 others.
Yeah, he's only been with the team since 2020. He's 27 years old, and he's got 8 caps so far. But yeah, did play a little bit more leading up to this. He plays for Baro in Bulgaria since 2020.
Okay, he was born in France. I'm actually going to move both of these players up to likely, because between the two of them, they did cover the 9 games in 2021. So they got to use at least one of them and possibly both. But we do have a couple of other names to mention. One is Thiago Almeida. He played just one of their 9 games in 2021. And Claudio Tavares. His only cap was in 2019, so we've coded both of those as possible but unlikely, and we'll give some details on them if they ended up making it. But looking at the list, it looks like it was these two, Jeffrey Fortes and Steve Furtado, making it, and the other 2 not making it. So there we go. All right, let's move on to midfielders. I'm just cleaning up the graphic for our YouTube watchers a little bit. And we have no general or versatile midfielders. So we'll move to defensive midfielders, starting with Marco Suarez. We've coded him as likely because he played 4 of the 9 games in 2021, but was on the bench for 5 others. Tell us a little bit about him, Kiera.
Yeah, he is one of the other experienced players on this team. He's at 37 years old, has been with the team since 2006, and has 52 caps and 3 goals. So yeah, that experience certainly makes him likely. He plays for Arouca in Portugal since 2019.
Right, and he's played most of his time in Portugal. He was born there. I have him down as a big and tough guy, having seen him in 2000 and I guess I saw him in 2013 where he started and finished all the games, but he wasn't there in 2015. So getting a little old there at 37, maybe that's why he's not starting all of their games.
Yeah.
Anyway, he does seem the most likely among the candidates we have. The next one is listed as possible, Nuno Borges, and he played 4 of their 9 games in 2021, including the last 3. So maybe he's kind of stepping in for Suarez there. He was on the bench for 1 and then not selected for 4, but those 4 were near the beginning. So I'm kind of tempted to move him up to likely, but we'll see.
Yeah. At age 33, he does have just 9 caps with the team. He's been with the team since 2018. And then plays his club football at Casapia in Portugal just since 2021.
Yeah, that's not a lot of caps for his age, actually. But okay, finally we have Erickson Silva. We've also coded him as possible. He had actually amazingly returned from a 10-year absence. in March 2021 to play 2 of their 9 games. And he was on the bench for one of those and not selected for 6 others, including the last 3. So that sounds like the bio of someone who was maybe brought in for to replace an injured player for a period.
Yeah, he's another slightly older player at 34 years old. So all 3 of them above 30 there. And just 3 caps for the team, although he has been with the team since 2007. But so that explains that 10-year absence.
Yeah.
But he is playing club football in Portugal with Académica de Viseu, been there since 2021.
Okay, and he may be referred to simply as Erickson. I'm going to actually, given what we've said about him, move into possible but unlikely after this discussion. So we have Marco Suarez on the team, probably his last tournament there, and Nuno Borges. But looks like they wouldn't hurt for them to bring some youth into this position, eh, Kiera?
Yeah, for sure.
The youngest of them is 31. But the next position, central midfielder, overlaps quite a bit, so they could bring some of these players in. And
yeah, we definitely have more youth in this position.
Oh, okay, good. That's good for them. Yeah. Patrick Andrade is the first one on our list here, and we've coded him as likely. He's played 8 of their 9 games in 2021 and wasn't selected for the one other. So I'm just going to immediately move him up to definite there, since he's been starting regularly. Can you tell us a bit about him?
Yeah, 28 years old. He's been with the team since 2020 and has 9 caps. Plays his club football at Karabag in Azerbaijan. Been there since 2020.
Oh, okay. I maybe coded him as likely just because he hasn't been on the team for a long time. Next one, Jamiro Montero. We also have him coded as likely, and he's played 7, including the last 6 of their 9 games in 2021, on the bench for 1 and not selected for just the 1.
28 years old. He's been with the team since 2016 and has 16 caps and a single goal. And he actually plays his club football in the States with Philadelphia Union and been there since 2020.
Oh, interesting. Okay, yeah, he did actually score in World Cup 2022 qualifying. So I think that may be the 1 goal there, or maybe he's added 1. But anyway, we don't really expect central midfielders to score. Let's move to our possible category, and we have João Paulo. Including his first appearance on the bench in March. He played 4 of their remaining 9 games in 2021 and was on the bench for 3 of those and not selected for 2 others.
Yeah, 23 years old. Those 4 games he played are his only 4 caps with the team. He's just been with the team since 2021 and playing his club football in Firenze in Portugal.
All right. And last of all, there are a lot of names here, but generally there's a lot of players. We saw the 4-man midfield, so it may be that they just use a lot of players in this kind of position. Nenas, he does have, his real name is Erickson Spinola Lima, but he goes by Nenas, and including his first cap in October, he played 3 of their remaining 4 games and was on the bench for the other. So even though he's coming in late, it looks like they're using him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and he, like you said, his first cap in October, so he has just been with the team since 2021, and those 3 caps are his only 3 with the team. He's 26 years old, but yeah, seems to be getting more time on the field.
Yeah. Sorry, go ahead.
I was just going to mention he has been playing in Norway since 2018 with Ailsons.
Oh, that's interesting. So, yeah. Okay. Well, as you said, there's the kind of the youth coming into the team there. Some of those players just being being bled into the team this year. We have a possible but unlikely Bruno Lete, and he's just played one of their games in 2021. So we'll detail him if he makes the squad. And then either seemingly off the squad or retired is veteran Babanco. And he last played for the team in 2019. So we're not really expecting to see him. In fact, it was March 2019, so almost 3 years ago now. He did have 61 caps for the team and appeared in the 2013 and 2015 Gold Cups. But it looks like they've lost him to age, Kiera.
Yeah, it seems to be. He is 39 years old, so
yeah,
had a long career with the team.
Yeah, I'd be very surprised to see him, but he certainly was an important player in those tournaments. Well, we have
find out the results.
Yeah, Patrick Andrade is on the team as we expected. Same with Jamiro Montero and João Paulo and Nanas, both of whom started with the team in 2021, both making it. But Bruno Lete and Babanco are not part of the squad.
So as we expected, not too surprising there.
Yeah, and as I mentioned earlier, they don't have players coded as strictly left midfielders and right midfielders, but they do have a lot as wingers. So we'll start on the left wing with Gary Rodriguez Mendes, who we've coded as likely, but maybe not actually, because he's an injury danger. I'll tell you about it. He had played 4 of their 9 games in 2021 and was out with actually 2 separate injuries for 4 games, including the last 2, and not selected for 3 others. So in December 2021, it was listed as a muscle injury. I think those tend to be longer injuries. Do you know, Kiera?
Yeah, I've heard that as well, but I don't know precisely what's going on with him.
He seems to be an important player, and I think the information you give us will illustrate why.
Yeah, like he's 31 years old, but he's been with the team since 2013 and has 34 caps and 6 goals. So certainly somebody who I think they will take if he's fit. I think that injury will really make the difference here.
Yeah. How about his teams?
He's currently playing for Olympiacos in Greece since 2021, and then has been in a few different places before that.
Yeah, he was with a couple of the bigger clubs in Turkey a bit earlier, maybe moving into retirement. Olympiacos is a good team, but Fenerbahce and Galatasaray in Turkey are pretty big clubs and reasonably big clubs throughout his career. So, as you say, I think if he's available, they'll definitely use him. Yeah. If they don't use him, though, we have a few possibilities, starting with Cuca Miranda. He played the first 2 of their 9 games in 2021, but then wasn't selected for the last 7 matches, although he did score a goal in qualifying. You know what? I'm going to put him down to possible but unlikely with just 2 games there.
Yeah,
go ahead.
Yeah, has been with the team since 2009. He's 32 years old right now and has 19 caps and 3 goals for the team. Playing his club football in Portugal with União Leiria. Been there since 2020. But yeah, not so much recently.
Yeah, and maybe some of these guys were actually brought in for Gary Mendes Rodriguez if he was injured.
Yeah.
So a bit of uncertainty. But our next candidate is Vasco Lopez, and including his first cap in March, he had played 2 games for a total of 8 minutes in their remaining 9 games, on the bench for 3 of those and not selected for the last 4 matches. So I'm not sure what I'm doing here, but I'm going to move him down to possible but unlikely also.
Yeah, he is new to the team just since 2021 and would bring some youth at age 22, but just the two caps. But two caps, but not a lot of time on the field. So I think possible but unlikely is reasonable. He is playing in Portugal since 2021 for Firenze.
Okay, great. And more reasonably possible, Willie Samado. He played 5 of their 9 games in 2021. And most importantly, he played the last 4. So 4 of his caps were among the last 5 games. And he wasn't selected for 4 others. I'm wondering, then it seems like he was brought in for Gary Mendes Rodriguez.
Yeah, that does seem likely. He's been with the team since 2020. He's 27 years old and has 7 caps for the team. So,
he definitely seems the top of that list of players. We have a couple of others. Ricardo Gomez seems to be off the team. He last appeared in November 2020. And then a veteran who I'm going to say seems to be off the squad because he's only 32 years old, which is not that old. And he played in 2013, 2015, scored some really important goals, including the heroic winning goal over Cameroon that actually got them to the finals. Have I said his name? Helden Nuck Ramos?
Mm-hmm.
We won't detail him unless he's actually selected. If he's not selected, though, it's a bit of a loss to the team. Are we ready to find out, to unveil Kiera?
I think so.
I mean, the fact is, I think wingers, depending on the setup of the team, I would say 2 or maybe 3 of these guys, but certainly wouldn't need more than 3, I would say.
No, I don't think so.
And it looks like either Mendes Rodriguez is fit, or else they have brought him along, maybe hoping he'll become fit during the tournament. Sometimes they do that.
Right. Well, yeah, that's good news for them that he should be hopefully good to go.
Yeah. And then Willie Samado, who seems to have been brought in to replace him, was also selected for the squad. Which makes sense. Helden Ramos last appeared in November 2019, so didn't seem to be a candidate here.
Right.
All right, let's move on to
just
the right.
2. So just bring in 2.
Yeah, surprisingly, given their setup, that may mean they have more forwards, and maybe in that 3-man forward line actually play forwards rather than wingers.
Yeah.
Okay, well, we begin with a likely candidate, Willis Furtado, and he played 3 of their 9 games in 2021, but he was on the bench for 5 others, so only 1 game that he wasn't selected for.
Right. Yeah, at age 24, he has been with the team since 2020 and has 7 caps for the team so far. He plays with Jerv in Norway, been there since 2021.
Oh, okay. He's the second guy in Norway.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, the next one is Wagner Goncalves. I think he's known just as Wagner, though. And he returned after a 19-month absence in June to play 6 of their 7 remaining games in 2021 and was even on the bench for the others. So it looks like he's a likely candidate.
Yeah, at age 25, he's been with the team since 2018. Just 9 caps, but with that absence, that might explain. And does have a goal for the team as well. He plays his club football with Metz in France since 2020, although he was on loan to Sion in Switzerland in 2021.
Okay, yeah, and he actually has played most of his career in France there. I'm listing this guy, Alessandro Cemento, as possible, but he actually is an injury doubt, so I thought he'd be possible if he wasn't injured, but injury may come into it. He played the first 3 of their 9 games in 2021, but was injured for the last 6 matches. So he was injured or listed as injured with a calf injury as late as December 2021. So we'll have to see about him.
Yeah, he does have 8 caps with the team and 1 goal. He's been with the team since 2019 and is 25 years old. He's playing club football with Fortuna Sittard in Netherlands since 2018, although he was loaned to OFI Crete in Greece for the 2019-2020 season.
Oh, okay. Okay, well, that's it. That's all we have for right wingers. Let's see who made it. So we expected Willis Furtado to be there, and so he is. A bit of a surprise, though. Wagner Goncalves is not fit, and I wonder maybe he came in as a replacement for Cemento because Cemento is on the squad, and maybe that explains the situation. He did come back. Wagner did after a long absence, so that seems to...
that does seem likely that he was called in.
Yeah. All right. Well, now we're going to the forward line. Just a little correction on the graphic for YouTube watchers there. Now we're going to the forward line, but we include attacking midfielders as part of the forward line. So let's begin with a definite in Kenny Roca Sanchez. He played
Santos, I think, for his last name.
Oh, yes. Thank you. Maybe you can say it because I'm not sure about Roca either. I'll let you take it after I say that he played 7 of their 9 games in 2021, but was not selected for the first 2.
Right. But yeah, it does seem likely playing their last 7. I would agree with that, or very, definite. He is youngster, 21 years old, but been with the team since 2017 and has 9 caps under his belt. He's playing his club football in Ostend in Belgium and been there since 2021.
All right. And you seem a little better at pronunciation than me. So can you maybe say his name one more time?
Oh, yeah. Sorry about that. You mentioned that earlier. Kenny Roca Santos would be my best guess there.
That's okay. And we'll repeat these names of the players who have made the squad or who seem likely or who seem to be starters, I should say. Next guy is just listed as a possible Helder Tavares. He's played only 3 of their 9 games in 2021, was on the bench for 1 and not selected for 5 others, including the last 2.
Yeah, he's been with the team since 2017, 32 years old. He's got 14 caps and plays his club soccer in Voluntari in Romania since 2021.
Right. We have one player who we won't detail, seems to be off the squad, even though he's just 29 years old, Nuno Roca, but he last appeared for the team in 2019, in March 2019. So although he played in the 2015 African Cup as a starter, he hasn't been playing for them recently. And we'll detail him if he made it, but actually he didn't. Only Kenny Roca Santos made it to the team, not Helder Tavares or Nuno Roca there.
That's the one.
Okay, well, let's move to the forward line. And we have 2 definites here, or we should say confidence. We're confident we'll start, will make the team. Ryan Mendes, maybe a familiar name to some because he was loaned to Nottingham Forest about 5 years ago. He played 7 of their 9 games in 2021 and was not selected for 2 others. He also was the top scorer, though, with just 2 goals out of their 6. But one of them was in a home win over Cameroon, so always nice to score against a big team.
Yeah, definitely an experienced player at age 31. He's been with the team since 2010 and does have 34 caps and 6 goals for the team. He plays his club football at Al Nasser in the UAE, been there since 2020.
Right, and he started in 2013 and pretty much started in 2015. I don't know why he didn't start game 1, but he was subbed in at 74 and then started the remaining games. So a very likely candidate there. Also coded as definite is Julio Tavares. And he also played 7 of their 9 games in 2021 and wasn't selected for 2 matches.
Yeah, another experienced player for the team. Been with Cape Verde since 2012 and has 43 caps and 6 goals, and is 33 years old. He's playing his club football in Saudi Arabia with Al Fizali. Been there since 2020.
Right, and he was on the squad in 2013 and 2015. Actually, was a sub in both. In 2013, he subbed into the first game and then gained a starting position. But in 2015, he was just a sub, but seems to have become a starter. But we'll take a look at a couple of other names before we find out. And at the possible level is Gilson Tavares, and he played 3, including the last one of their 9 games in 2021, was on the bench for 2, but not selected for 4.
He's certainly newer to the team than the other 2 players that we've talked about. He's just been there since 2020 and is just 20 years old, and has 5 caps for the team at this point. He's playing in Portugal with Estoril since 2020.
All right, and we'll just mention the names of a couple of other people. Patrick Fernandez, we have him as kind of possible but unlikely. He only played 2 of their 9 games. A name that's familiar to me, maybe from previous cups, even though actually he wasn't fully a starting player, Giannini. I guess we'll come back to him if he makes it, Giannini. And Platini Suarez, Platini, do you pronounce it Suarez?
That would be my guess, Platini Suarez.
Oh, okay. He seems to be off the team, having last played in November 2020. And so we'll also come back to him if we see that he's made it. Are we ready to unveil
final players? Yeah, let's do it.
All right. Well, we have one kind of surprise here. No surprise with my Ryan Mendes or Julio Tavares, but the other one is Giannini. So we should go back and give a little more detail about him. Chiara, I'll just start by saying he last appeared for the national team in November 2020, so that's why we didn't consider him in the higher possibilities.
Yeah, there has been a bit of a break, but he has been with the team since 2012. At 30 years old, he has 35 caps and 6 goals for the team. So some experience with them.
Yeah, I don't really know why that name seems familiar to me. He was just a sub in 2013, and he started in 2014, but was subbed out of game 1 and lost his starting position, and basically became a sub. And he didn't score any goals, so I wonder, maybe I'm mixing him up with someone with a similar name there. But nevertheless, he's on the squad. So we only have one, maybe Giannini's a bit of a surprise there, but we only have one real surprise in the goalkeeper position, where Dylan Silver, who we considered likely, was not selected, and Kevin Ramos, who's a ranked rookie, came in for that position. Any comments yourself there, Chiara?
Yeah, I think for the most part, like you said, unsurprising with just those few that were unsuspected. But for the most part, who we thought were definite made it. And yeah, hopefully those injuries are healed as much as they seem to be expecting that they will be by the time the cup rolls around.
Yeah, I mean they did select them for the squad, so. That was good news for them, I would imagine. Okay, we're going to finish with kind of a run through, maybe basically the starters. We'll do a run through here. I'll begin with the manager. Is Bubista. How about goalkeepers, Chiara?
Yeah, so very likely the starter will be Vozina.
That's right, Vozina to start. In the defense, Roberto Lopez is a definite starter as a central defender. And then we had three guys listed as possible. So Nuno Borges, Carlos Ponch, and Steven Fortes among those three. Left back is Stopera, seems the definite starter. And right back, Jeffrey Fortes and Steven Furtado shared the position, so we're not really sure which one is going to start there. Do you want to do midfielders?
Yeah, so defensive midfield didn't have any definite, but most likely Marco Suarez will be our starter there.
Yeah, a bit aged back there, so we might see central midfielders a bit more. Go ahead, Kiara.
Sorry, just give me 1 second here.
Oh, is it difficult to read?
Yeah, just on my screen. So I'll throw it back to you for central midfielders here. I'm just trying to find it on my page, but go for it.
Okay, so we had Patrick Andrade listed as definite and Jamiro Montero as likely. And we have newcomers João Paulo and Nenas likely to be in a substitute role there. How about left wingers?
Yeah, most likely then is Gary Mendes Rodriguez, most likely to start.
Right, if he's not injured.
Yeah.
And then Willie Samado if he is injured. On the right wing, Willis Furtado. Willis Furtado is likely. Alessandro Cemento, probably the backup there. We only have one attacking midfielder in Kenny Roca Santos, but he's he's probably a starter. And forwards, over to you.
Yeah, so two definite, so very, very likely going to be Ryan Mendes and Julio Tavares.
Right, and we saw Giannini. He seemed to be off the squad, but surprisingly made it. So I would imagine we're going to see him on the bench. Well, Kiara, that brings us to the end. Thanks so much for your help.
Happy to be here.
And yeah, just to remind you, our website is Soccer Files. That's with a PH. Soccer Files at Captivate. soccerfiles.captivate.fm, or you can Google search Soccer Files, plural, and we'll pop up there somewhere. And if you want to contact us, maybe teach us how to pronounce some of these names, you can do that at soccerfiles@gmail.com. All right. Thanks again, Kiara, and we will see you next time. Yeah. Bye-bye.